Hi there everybody. On today's video I have this e39. This is a 2001 6-cylinder 525 and I'm gonna be changing the fan belt or V-belt, whatever it's called. Now there are two belts on this car, one that is this long one and another one that connects to the aircon pump. I didn't buy the aircon pump one, but we need to remove it in order to change this one anyway. So I'm gonna try and show you how to do that. It is a little bit tedious, I guess, because you have to get your hands in tight spaces, as well as trying to get this belt around the fan there. So we'll give that a go, and I'm just gonna get the car up on the ramp, and that's gonna help undo the belt, the small belt from underneath, the one that connects to the AC. Just before getting this up in the ramp, I will try and loosen the belt from up here. I've got my wrench there with a 16mm socket. Now might be able to see. The socket down there. Okay, so that's where the socket is sitting. Not the best of light there. Trying to get now. If we look down here, that's the tensioner there. You can also see the little cracks on the belt already. That's the tensioner, and that's the bolt of the tensioner, just where I got my socket in there. So obviously if I maybe there, if I move this that way, you will see the belt getting loose. So that's where the belt is gonna just loosen off. The thing is, if I do that and then I take that belt off of there, this wrench will remain there and it will go back a bit, but we need to get the belt out through this fan. It's gotta go inside the blades to come out. Basically, it's gotta go inside there and come out the bottom. And the other belt is visible from here as well. That's the other belt there. It's connected to the crank and the AC, but that's not really that difficult to remove. The reason this top belt needs to come out through the fan blades here is because of the the water pump. The water pump runs with that belt and runs this fan. So what happens is when we release the belt, this will wedge against this area here, and then you'll find it hard to move, which is why there is a little hole somewhere where you can put a pin to hold the tensioner. I think that is the hole there. That's the little hole there. So once you get the tensioner in a certain place, you can put something like a drill bit inside of there, and that will hold that tensioner in place, so you can remove this and make your life a little bit easier. So I'm gonna try to do that. It's gonna be difficult to film, but I'm just basically opening, putting some tension on this, and then trying to put the pin in there. So I've got this thing here. Just it's like a drill bit. It's just a nail shape, bit of iron there. Okay, so that is remaining in there now, so I'm just gonna try and focus where I place the pin, so you have an idea of where it's gone, or how you're supposed to place it in. So that's the pin down there. If you can see it there, that's just a little the end bit, the L bit, and the rest of it is gone inside. There's two holes. I'm gonna try to move the tensioner a little bit so you can see it, just holding it there. Okay, now with this kind of job, I would always say be very careful, be aware of your fingers, don't want anything getting caught or trapped or anything. So if you're unsure, then obviously it's best not to get involved with this. You can get a bit stuck with it. So I can remove this now. That's my 16 mil. So as you can see, that's where I had it plugged in, and that's the pin. We can just see a little bit of the pin there sticking out. I can try to focus. That's the pin just going into there. So those two holes line up when you move the tensioner, and obviously there's no tension on the belt now, and I can of course I can remove that belt. That's the belt there. Just take it out. It's a good idea also to get maybe do a little drawing of the belt, and that way you won't go wrong in case you forget how it came out, which is probably what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to do a little drawing of it. Okay, so my belt seems to go this way, and that's the alternator, and then it goes to the water pump, and from the water pump it gets tensioned here. This is the tensioner that we just released, and then it goes to the crankshaft, power steering, and up to the alternator again. So now I can go ahead and remove that belt and try to get it out. So I mean, I will try and film this, but again, it's probably not the easiest. I think if you actually remove the air filter box here, that will probably give you more access for your hands if you have small hands. Okay, so I've released the belt, and now I'm pushing it, trying to just push it back through these blades here. Okay, so the belt is now down there, and it wasn't that bad. I just need to now remove the other belt, and so we can get that belt out. I'm just going to I'm just gonna feed this belt down these fans here, these fan blades here, so I have access from underneath. So now just note that I'm feeding part of the belt down the blades and keeping this part up here, because this has to go onto the water pump. Okay, let's concentrate on the belt from underneath. Okay, looking at the car from underneath, we have this plastic cover. Just undo these Phillips screws and that cover will come out. Okay, now we have access to we have some view here of the belt. Try and get some kind of focus here. Alright, so this is the belt, the one that we are taking out. And this is the other belt we need to remove. So I've got a 16mm here, and that's all we need to do. Okay, finally. So I got like I said, a 16mm there. This also has a couple of little holes, and this will give you a better idea of what I was trying to show you at the top. Okay, so this is the tensioner, and as you move it, you have these two, and if you put the pin in there, you can then release that, and you can get your belt out. You don't need that there anymore. You can of course then remove this belt . Remove that belt, and this belt isn't actually that bad. It doesn't have any cracks, so I think it's been replaced before. So anyway, I haven't got a new one, so I won't be changing that one today. But if you have a new one, you just have to fit it in there. Now we have a view of this other belt, the one we are trying to remove now. So this is the one here, and just need to get it around that tensioner. And carry on bringing it down on this fan. Okay, that came out. Okay, that wasn't that dramatic, I guess, but you can see this belt condition of it is it's cracking a lot already, so I don't really want to wait until it breaks. Now since I fed the other belt down here, just try to find it and bring it down. Okay, I've got my belt here. And what I really need to do now is put it around the crankshaft. Maybe we can have this view here now. So while we are down here, I'm just gonna try and feed it around the crankshaft and the power steering pump there. Okay, so it basically needs to go right around the crankshaft, and the back part of the belt, the bit with no lines, has to go around the tensioner. So that's what we're trying to achieve here now. There's a lot of dust, so just be aware of that. Okay, so I know this is difficult to film, and you might not be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to get the belt around all the wheels from here the best that I can. Okay, so it's all gone in there quite nicely now. The belt is sitting on all the wheels. So it's sitting around the power steering, the crankshaft here, and then it's going on the tensioner and the alternator out there, and the water pump on this side. So now it's just a matter of me going to the top and releasing the tensioner and getting that pin out. So this is now sitting nicely in there. Now we can fit this other belt back in there. And luckily for us, this belt doesn't require much science. Okay. Now I can release my tensioner here. So that belt is nicely in there. If you're changing it, you'll have your new belt sitting in there. Now we can just get that bottom cover back on. Don't think there's a need for me to film that. Just a few screws that need to be screwed on there and get the cover on, and then we'll tackle the tensioner from the top. Right, now I got the car down. All that's left to do for us is to get the tensioner released. So I'm gonna try to get that light there so we can okay, just trying to get that little angle there. There we have, that's the pin and the bolt. So just getting the tool in there, and what I'm gonna do is just give it a little movement. I just need to push it down and release the pin. So it's not a lot of movement, just a little bit there. And then we can get the pin out. Okay, so got the pin out and just release the tension there. Now we can just remove that, take that out. Okay, so that's basically it. I mean, maybe a little bit fiddly, but it wasn't as bad as I first thought it might be. That's the new belt there, just going around all the wheels, alternator, and power steering pump, crankshaft down there, and obviously the water pump, which is just hiding under this thermostat housing, and it's sitting there now nicely. It's brand new, so we don't need to expect that to break anytime soon. Well, anyway, I really hope this video helps somehow. Thanks for watching.